This is Recipe Rumble, a fast-paced game where everyone trades their cards at the same time. Be the first player to collect all of the ingredients on your recipe card to win.
Are you ready to play Recipe Rumble?
First, let's walk you through the rules so you know how to play. Trust us, it's a lot of fun. This is a great game for 3 to 8 players.
Let's start with what's inside the box. You'll get 12 recipe cards, 84 ingredient cards, 2 rule books, 1 in English and 1 in French, and a bell.
Now let's take a look at the recipe cards and ingredient cards. The recipe cards have a recipe picture and the recipe ingredients. The ingredient cards have an ingredient icon, an ingredient picture, a food group icon, a food group color, and a recipe icon. In this game, there are 4 food group colors. Produce is green, protein is red, grains is yellow, and dairy is blue.
Let's get the game set up. Lay out the 12 recipe cards. Match each recipe card with its 7 ingredient cards. You can use the recipe icons to help with sorting. If you have 4 players, use 4 recipe sets. For 5 players, use 5 recipe sets, and so on. Place the remaining recipe sets to the side of the table. Shuffle the ingredient cards and deal 7 cards face down to each player.
Players may look at and sort their ingredient cards. Here's a tip. One of the best ways to sort your cards is by food group color.
Shuffle the recipe cards and deal 1 card face down to each player.
The recipe card remains face down until the start of the round. Do not look at it yet.
Place the bell in the center of the table within reach of all players.
When you're ready to play, the dealer starts the round by ringing the bell, and it's game on.
Players pick up and look at their recipe card and see which ingredient cards they need to keep and which ones they need to trade.
Everyone plays at the same time. There are no turns.
Players continue trading until the end of the round.
There are some trading rules you need to know before you play.
You may trade with any player at any time as often as you want.
Select 1 or more cards that are in the same food group color and call out the number of cards that you are trading.
Always keep your cards face down when trading.
Be sure to always trade an equal number of cards with others.
Do not reveal any details about your cards except for the number that you are trading. You will not know what ingredients or food group you will receive in a trade.
After viewing your traded cards, keep the ones you need and then continue trading.
If you can trade a certain number of cards but others can only trade fewer, you can split your hand and trade the smaller number of cards. For example, you have 3 cards to trade and someone else has 2 cards to trade. You can trade 2 cards with them and then trade that 1 card with someone else.
Note, you are not required to collect ingredient cards with the matching recipe icon in order to complete the recipe.
Remember, traded cards must be in the same food group color. If they don't, that's called a forbidden trade. The food group colors in these cards do not match and cannot be traded together.
The first person to collect all 7 of their required ingredient cards and shouts, "Order up," and rings the bell is the winner.
But be careful that you do not make a false call. A false call is when a player shouts, "Order up," or rings the bell and they have not collected all of their ingredient cards. If that happens, continue play, but that player will lose 5 points during the scoring phase.
Speaking of points, here's how the scoring works. The winner of the round gets 10 points. All players get 1 point for each of their ingredient cards with a recipe icon matching their recipe card. False calls is minus 5 points.
This player has completed their recipe and won the round, earning 10 points. 2 of their cards have the burrito icon, so they earn an extra 2 points. This player didn't win the round, but they still get 1 point for each of the ingredient cards that match the recipe icon on their recipe card. In this example, this player earned 4 points.
After marking down everyone's score, it's time for round 2. Take the completed hand from the winner, which includes both the recipe card and the ingredient cards, and exchange them with an unused recipe set from the side of the table.
Take only the cards that that player won with. You do not need to try to match up the recipe icons with the recipe card, as done during setup. Set up for the next round by shuffling the ingredient cards and the recipe cards and dealing them to each player, just like you did in the first round.
The game ends when a player reaches a score of 50 points or more. And that's the basics of Recipe Rumble. It's fast, it's fun, and a little bit chaotic.
It's a family-friendly food frenzy.